whole Bill How Late thing is overblown. Everyone freaks out about that, and oh my God, it's too early. It's just not a big deal. You train, you prepare. We went to Seoul in October, and so we ran the whole year and had a good. So I think he'll be fine with that.
To have him and Lyles and McLaughlin coming around, how big could that be in terms of kind of helping the sport?
Well, I think honestly, it's great that America's there because, to be honest, the United States has money, and they have money to invest in our sport, and so if you have a bunch of countries that can't afford it, then it really hurts the sport. And I think it's great that the Americans are doing so well and they're back kind of where they're supposed to be, and they can contribute back into sport. I think it's tremendous.
Could they? I know there's so much. The landscape's so crowded right now. Could they kind of get it back to where a little bit towards where you were? I mean, I know it's a totally different era, but a little bit more.
To be honest, I wish the athletes had more support, but I think the system is still tilted. I think we're getting to a clown show point with these silly relays and mixed relays and 2+2s. It's a clown show. Put on a great show. If you put a national champion somewhere, get a banner and put on the field instead of having a bunch of lines. Really think about the visual, how you want to present yourself, and then also the athletes. The athletes have to understand that the sport has to change in their regard. There are too many athletes, and we're not a professional sport, so they need to focus on a smaller group of athletes to have more success. It really needs to contract, to be honest, and build and focus on getting more meets, because that's the problem. There's no middle class, and what has to happen, there has to be a discussion. Now that I'm coaching athletes and they're getting post-collegiate, I just see the same fighting among agents, and everyone's doing it. Look, we need to realize the sport needs a meal, not fighting over crumbs. That's this. And there's some great athletes that can do some great things. So I hope that there's a way that people can come and say, we need to start coming together, working with promoters, saying, we need more meets. We shouldn't be fighting over things. We've gone through this 10 or 12 years where the sport contracted, but we just had this false narrative that it was great. No, it really contracted in the last 12 years. So now that I think that we have a place where we can get investment in the sport, let's put together a sport that makes it interesting. Look, here I am, I'm a sprinter, but I think cutting the distance races is a mistake, because you have 50 million runners in the world. Instead of cutting the events out, we should be finding ways to get them in the stadium. These are the kind of things we have to think about, and I hope that we rethink how we really want to market our sport.
So when you ran at Mount Sac, money was flying around, people were betting, the crowds are hanging on the rail, and then you look around at this.
Well, I think there's something to it. I mean, it's not there, it doesn't feel the same, and I think next year is going to be tremendous. I love Mount Sac. I competed here 16 times, and I've been back for years and years, and I think it's going to be fine. Next year is going to be exciting. Nothing against here, because they've done a great job.
Not
but it's just it's just like it's going to be like Prefontaine this year. It's like we're not home. So I just think that we have to realize that we can't keep the same path. Our sport is proving the definition of insanity, and so we have to change things if they want to do it. And the athletes also have to think about it as well.
Does with Michael and Sydney and people like that, are you more optimistic than maybe you were a few years ago? Or
you know what? We have a great relay team, not because I'm a great coach, because I don't believe that. We have a great system that I teach. If I was teaching a bad system, we'd be the U.S. team the last 12 years. So my point is that we can have all the greatest athletes and the greatest personalities and good-looking. They understand social media. They're tremendous. But if we have a bad system, they cannot overcome it, and we're proving that. So we've got to change the system.
Coach, should Rye be on the 4x4 in Doha?
Oh, I'm not getting it all. You know better than that. Because I think there are so many fast quarter milers here.
I know.
Let the stuff play out.
Hey, Coach, I'm Ken Stone.
Thanks, Carl.
I'm in San Diego, but I'm also the famous Masters track guy.
Okay.
What is your interest in Masters track? Would you ever want to try it?
I love Masters track. But it wasn't interesting for me, not because I don't like it. Number one, I don't have time to put in the time it takes to be excellent. And that's what they are. They're excellent. I saw Willie Gault today. I couldn't touch Willie right now. I travel 300 days a year. And I'm not changing that because I like my lifestyle. And then another thing too, when I even mention I want to run, then it becomes a bunch of drama. It should be about the people that want to be there, that are dedicating their time, that are putting in the energy. And so I love Masters. It's just not for me.